Welcome to the Third Eye Podcast once again. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today's Thanksgiving. Although, for you, it won't be Thanksgiving anymore when you read this. And when you hear this, you'll read this, that's right, in your mind. Because some people, when they hear things, when they listen to stuff, words flash to them in their mind. It's like they're reading in real time things that are being said to them. Isn't that strange? So we're back once again, and Thanksgiving is here. What are you giving thanks for? I was thinking about this earlier today, that I want to change it up a little bit. I want to call it Thanks for Giving. Thanks for Giving. Happy Thanks for Giving, everybody. What's that mean, though? Thanks for giving. Thanks for giving. We have an exceptionally giving environment that we live in. Thanks for giving me this exceptionally giving environment. I have everything I need. You have everything you need. If you can listen to this podcast, I would say you probably have everything you need, or most of the things you need. You're in a situation where you have most of your bases covered, but for the most part, you feel that's not the case. You feel like your bases are not covered, and that makes you anxious, and your life is tumultuous because of your anxiety. Well, thanks for giving me that anxiety. Thanks for having anxiety. We need emotions. They can guide us. And I think there is such things as profound emotions. Perhaps we have looked over what do emotions have a meaning? Can So let's just see actually. This question has now got me intrigued. What is the meaning of sadness? Let's see what happens. Let's see what pops up here. Uh nope, that messed up. What is the meaning of sadness? The condition or quality of being sad. That sucks. That's a pretty from Oxford, like, sadness is the condition or quality of being sad, a source of great sadness. Okay, what is the meaning of? Let's break it down a little more, I guess. What's the meaning of sad? Feeling or showing sorrow, unhappy, pathetically inadequate, or unfashionable. If something is, oh, that's informal. If you're saying that's sad, means pathetically inadequate or that's funny. Um, so feeling or showing sorrow. How about sorrow? Let's go down the rabbit hole. We're going down the rabbit hole of the dictionary today. Sorrow, a feeling of deep distress caused by loss, disappointment, or other misfortune suffered by oneself or others. Sadness has its roots in sorrow. What does that mean? What what does it mean to have these emotions? We struggle so desperately with these emotions in our emotional states, and we want to yogify and become one with an emotional state that is transcendent of all of them. That's an emotional state in itself. Is that not tranquility? Is that not blissfulness? Is that not what are you shooting for here, sir? What are you aiming at? Um, if I could control my emotions, I think it'd be nice if I could. Based off all the emotions I've ever felt, if I could like pick one to choose for the rest of my life, I would probably it'd have to be if I'm still working in this reality in the way that it is. If I still have to interface with the reality that I'm currently in, and nothing about the reality is going to change based off me changing in this quality or this circumstance, I would say it'd have to be an emotion that can still get shit done. So I couldn't pick sadness, and I couldn't pick malaise. Malaise just came into my mind out of nowhere. I think, what does malaise mean? And a general feeling of discomfort, illness, or uneasiness whose exact cause is difficult to identify. That's weird. Are you feeling rather malaise, sir? Well, in Canada, you can commit suicide if you feel a little malaise. No, I feel a little uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't think I kind of feel like I don't like, this whole situation. Let me go have access to the MAID program. The MAID program in Canada, you can legally ask the government, be like, hey, you know what? I'm just kind of done here. Can you kill me? And they'll be like, yeah, sure, no problem. Let me just, you know, let me just load up this little, what do they call that thing? What's in that movie? What's that serial killer use in that movie? Is it? No, that's the wrong. Either way, it's that like cow killing gun. It's compressed air, I think. You know what I mean? But happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy thanks for giving. Um, I think that another year around the sun is about to come to a close. We're getting really close, and exciting things are going to happen before the end of the year, and exciting things are going to happen at the start of the new year, and then the new year is going to go on, and things are going to keep happening, and we're all going to have a crazy time. Life is going to get so crazy. I don't think we're properly prepared for it. We're not prepared, of course. You can't get prepared for this. What's coming our way, new life, new everything is coming our way, of course, all the time, and you can't possibly prepare for it in a way that would like protect you or secure your future or whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it, whatever what terminology would make you feel comfortable in this situation. You're not safe. You're not safe, but you can adapt. I think if there's one ability you should have, it's adaptability. What would adaptability fit under the tree of emotions? Adaptability. Let's ask AI something like that. Let's see what it spits out. Let's do DeepSeek. We're gonna do DeepSeek. We're gonna talk to what is that? China? Japan? I don't know. DeepSeek. Let's see what you got. Where does what did I say? Where does shoot? I forgot it. Dang. We'll remember. It's loading. Um, where does something fit under the tree of emotions? Shoot. I can't backtrack. I don't have an editor. Nobody else is here. It's all me. It's all on my own. I'm fucking it up. Okay, that's fine. But isn't that fun though? It's fun. I know I already said this, but it's fun to be able to fuck something up. It's fun that you can have something to fuck up. I have something unique that I can fuck up here, people. And if you're not talking to the internet, I'm not talking to the. Am I talking to the internet? What am I doing here? Once again, I've asked the question, what am I doing here? I'm talking to something. Talking to. In my perception, I feel as though I'm possibly talking to millions of people. And what does that mean? I think, well, what it means simply, in the first explanation, the easiest current and present explanation, is that while maybe 5 people have watched the last episode in the past week, and I haven't watched it actually. I wanted to do a little experiment where I was like, you know what? Let's just not watch it or touch it or interfere with it and see how many people watch it and what happens. And so that was 5 people. All right, 5 people. Very curious. That's a group. That's a small group. That's a small posse of people listening and contemplating some of the things that I'm saying. Hmm. How curious is that? So, now if I had to pick an emotion that had productivity, let's see if DeepSeek can just find. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. What emotion, if only one had to be picked, would be the best suited for productivity? Let's see what that spits out. I'm drinking some eggnog. God damn it, it's fucking Thanksgiving. Close enough to Christmas. That shit's gone in a flash. It's there and it's gone. Fucking hate that they do that with eggnog. I don't think that's weird. There's an eggnog conspiracy out there. Excuse me. All right, here we go. Of all the core emotions, if you only had one to be picked, the best suited for productivity would be determination. Hold on. Determination is an emotion? Here's why determination outpaces other strong contenders. It's an action emotion. Unlike happiness or calm, which are pleasant states, determination is inherently forward moving. It provides the fuel to initiate and persist through tasks. It's resilient. Determination includes an element of grit. It helps you push through boredom, frustration, and minor setbacks, all common productivity killers. A happy person might quit when a task gets difficult, but a determined person digs in. It provides focus. Determination often involves a clear goal, which helps filter out distractions. Your mind is set on the objective, making it easier to stay on track. It's sustainable, while excitement or urgency, a form of fear, can provide a powerful short-term burst. They are exhausting and prone to burnout. Determination is a steadier, more reliable engine for long-term effort. Interesting. Excitement and urgency being a form of fear, providing only short-term, exhausting burnout bursts. Why other emotions fall short in comparison? Happiness and joy can be conducive to creativity, but often lacks the driving force for tedious or challenging work. It's also fleeting and can be easily disrupted by difficult tasks. Calm and contentment, excellent for focused, detail-oriented work, but can lack the motivational spark to get started on a big, daunting project. It can drift into passivity. Fear and anxiety can create a short-term burst of productivity like a deadline, but it's mentally draining, impairs creative thinking, and leads to burnout and poor decision-making. Excitement, powerful for initiation, but it's unstable and often fades when the grind begins. It can also lead to impulsivity rather than methodical progress. In essence, determination is the perfect blend of focus, energy, and resilience required to not only start tasks, but more importantly, to see them through to completion. It is the emotional backbone of productivity. I've never thought of determination as an emotion. I'm going to ask you something else. Are you sure determination is an emotion? I've never heard of this. I've never heard of this. What comprises of an emotion? How do we define it? Emotions are weird. And for the most part, most of us are not in control of them. And it leads to lots of our unhappiness. So I've asked it this question now, and it's still thinking. This is actually, yeah, this is the longest I've ever seen it think. Oh, it's ready. Okay, that is an absolutely. We're not gonna. You've hit essential. All right. You're right to question it. The classification of determination is not as straightforward as fear or joy. How do we define an emotion? There is no single universally accepted definition, but most modern models see an emotion as a complex multi-component response to a significant stimulus. Key components often include subjective feeling, the conscious experience, what you label as feeling happy or feeling angry, subjective feeling, physiological arousal, changes in the body, increased heart rate, sweating, hormonal shifts like adrenaline, cognitive appraisal, the mental evaluation of the event. This is a threat or this is a great opportunity. Cognitive appraisal. Expression, outward signs, often facial or postural, smiling, scowling, determined stance. Action tendency, the innate urge to act in a specific way. Fear urges you to flee, anger to fight, determination to persist. So where does determination fit? Under a strict classical model of basic emotions, like Paul Ekman's joy, sadness, fear, anger, surprise, disgust. Determination is not a primary emotion. It's considered a complex emotion or a cognitive emotion, often bundled with related concepts like perseverance, grit, tenacity, purposeful striving. It is a blend of several other elements. Cognitive, a clear goal and a belief that you can achieve it, self efficacy. Emotional, it often contains traces of anticipatory joy about the goal, pride in the act of striving, and even managed levels of frustration or anger at obstacles which can fuel persistence. Motivational, its core is the powerful drive to keep going. In the context of your original question, determination is best understood as a potent motivational state or goal-directed drive that is heavily infused with and supported by emotion rather than a pure basic emotion itself. A more precise answer to your original question given this more nuanced understanding. If we must pick a single more classically defined emotion that is best for productivity, the strangest candidates shift to enthusiasm or anticipatory joy. Here's why. In an active approach, oriented emotion like determination, it provides energy and focus on a rewarding goal. It makes the process of working feel good, which is more sustainable than fear based pressure. I've got to get it done. It's linked to the brain's dopamine system, which is crucial for motivation, reward prediction, and sustained effort. You work because you anticipate the positive outcome, not just to avoid the negative one. It's not just the carrot it's not just the stick, it's the carrot. So while determination is the perfect colloquy answer, I think I said that right. Colloquial. Now I've colloquial answer. For the feeling of being productive, enthusiasm is likely the core emotional engine that makes it possible. Enthusiasm is what we're getting at. Thank you for pushing for a more accurate answer. It's a great reminder that the language we use to describe our inner states is often shorthand and incredibly complex psychological machinery. And so, of course, that's why I had to press a little further. I've been wondering lately. I've been getting told that whenever you use AI, you need to push it. You really need to push it kind of hard. You need to be like, no, that's what? No, what? What? But you can get some interesting answers. So, determination is a mental state that is driven by enthusiasm, which makes sense because when I started changing my life, it started with an emotional state. Now that I think about it, because I've been listening to stuff about hypnosis, I might have, like just the process of how my lowest moment went. It could even be conceived that I accidentally hypnotized myself into a positive mindset mixed with a synchronicity happening at the right moment at the right time to happenstance me across some motivational stuff that I would be able to absorb because of just going down through a low, coming to a moment where I could come back up again. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Well, like I said, emotions being fucking weird. We're forced to. I say forced to have them. We have them. We have them. We must contend with them. We must be able to. We must be able to navigate them. That's so very important. But those of us that cannot regulate our emotional system, those people need help too, and they can't just be thrown to the wayside. You can't just be like, "Oh, you can't fucking figure it out. You can't see the forest for the trees." Well, then fuck you. You fucking suck, and you deserve to suffer. Fuck you. I am not listening to you. I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you along. I remember when I got held back, I had that thought of like, so I was in like seventh grade, getting held back, staying in seventh grade. And then I had this thought. I was like, if anybody has any fucking questions about what to do here, because like the school that I was in, the way that I like saw it at least was that like seventh grade was officially high school because the construction of the school was like there's basically elementary and middle school in one building and then high school in another building. So it wasn't like elementary, middle school, and then high school buildings. But anyway, So yeah, when you hit 7th grade, you went up the hill, is what we said, is what everybody said. When you started going up the hill, you were essentially a high school student. And I remember thinking, I'm not gonna, if anybody has any questions, I'm not fucking telling them shit. Whatever, I went through an entire year of 7th grade, and whatever knowledge I gained from it, I was like, I'm not gonna share that shit. Fuck all them. I'm not, because I was like super resentful of the fact that I was getting held back. But I had been, it's funny, because I had been like offered a chance once before, offered to be held back. I was like, do you want to? And I was like, no! What? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to start over? I fucking hate this place. Why would I want to do another year? Oh, you want to do another year? No. No. Do you want to stay in prison another year? No. I very much intended to finish this in 12 years. In fact, it would have been great if I could drop out at any one of those points. But we went all the way to the very end and I hit the finish line. Hit the finish line. There's one particular instance where I don't particularly think I hit the finish line. I'm calling you out. You know who you are. I'm pretty certain that, final year of school, senior year, I, you know, of course, applying myself in some areas, I would say maybe even most areas for once in my life, I was making good grades for once in my life and had to pass math and had to do this thing called a semester test where like I had missed too many days and the reason I had missed those days by the way is because the friend group that I had, the circle that I had was this group of girls. One of them happens to be my now wife. And in this group of, oh wait, was she there for that part? Either way, in the group of girls, where was it going? Shit. Senior year. You gotta be careful about derailing your thoughts like that. You can't just let anything come in and then like start talking about it, because then that shit happens. Either way, senior year. Senior year. High school is weird, man. A small school. Okay, so let's follow my tracks. A breadcrumb trail. I'm going up the hill now. Oh, whatever that means. And then I've got a small circle of friends. They're all females. Oh well, we're gonna have to pivot. Um, I bet your high school experience was also weird. It's a place that I hated. I didn't. There was nothing good about school for me, and being even offered the chance to be like, "Hey, you want to do this one more time?" No. I remember what I was gonna talk about now. I I definitely semester test, whatever. Yeah, I was hanging out with these girls, and a lot of the time, they had good grades. So they senior year had very few classes, and they could just like, oh, we're done taking our classes like before lunch. We're like done after third period, and we don't have to be here the rest of the day. And one of them had a car, so they were like, we're getting the fuck out of here. See ya. And after a while, I was like, I want to leave too. So I started making up excuses and signing myself out and just leaving a lot. And it was more than I can count, but probably not that much more than I think. I was probably, honestly, if I remember, it might have been like 30 something days in one whole school year. But I don't know, maybe not. It probably was a lot though. It was definitely more than maybe 20. But I just remember, all those days signing out early, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, fuck this place." But anyway, had to take that semester test. I had to pass this little test for math, and the math teacher, God bless her soul, she's an amazing lady. I want to say her name. I'm not gonna, but you know who you are. If you happen to come across this podcast, you know who you are. And you know what you did, and I think I know what you did, which is I totally failed that fucking test. I totally failed the test, and you passed me anyway, which was a very generous thing to do because I remember asking you, did I pass? And you didn't say anything, you just smiled at me and didn't nod, and you didn't shake your head. You just smiled. I'm almost positive I failed that test. But that person, that woman, that math teacher, I think she understood something about me that probably most people didn't. I would have to guess. She definitely picked up that this would not have been good for me, at least. I think. She knew that staying here for another year was probably maybe even detrimental to my health. And she made the right call. Good job. You did good. I'm doing great. I'm doing really good. So thank you. I'm very happy about that. And at the same time, I'm also sorry because you made that test so easy. You did. I know you made that test. Literally, you. It was exactly what you said it was going to be. It was every question the exact same. But you knew better at the same time. Something else was going on to some degree, and I could not. Just could not do it. And I didn't do it. And she passed me anyway. And here we are. Thank God! We're free from the school system. I made it out. That's what it felt like. I felt like I made it out of prison and I was a free man and I had a whole life ahead of me. It's at the same time, though, I was definitely not in a great place and I definitely didn't necessarily actually feel that way, but I definitely felt free from the confines of the school system, and that's all it ever felt like to me was confinement. It was some. It was a prison of my soul, and I don't miss the place. There are things I suppose that I could feel nostalgic about. You know, if I picture it in my mind. If I picture agri class and the green room and the playground behind the elementary and so on and so forth. There's a lot to remember, and I can reminisce in that for a whole day, I bet, if I really tried, and it would not be a bad time. But at the same time, the reason it wouldn't be bad is because I'd be able to think to myself, I made it out of that. I got out of it. That was close. It really almost killed me. Like, I, school sucks. It was horrible. Like, the only thing that was good about it was the occasional good friend and the occasional good teacher, and there were just barely a few. Like, I had a fantastic English teacher. She's fantastic. She watches this someday. I hope you know that. I'm sure you already knew it then, and you still know it now. You're great. You're fantastic. I love you, my English teacher, and my math teacher. Love you too. You're amazing. There's others out there. Art teacher. I can say this name because it's crazy, and I don't think anyone's gonna find. Basulko. I'm gonna name my dog that. Basulko. Come here, Basulko. Oh, that's so cool. It's like Zuko almost. Basulko. That sounds like a name you don't want to fuck with. Can you imagine coming across a 6'7" bearded Basulko? It sounds like a genetic weapon. 6'7" bearded Basulko. Watch out. It's coming. For Christmas, all I want is a 6'7" bearded Basulko. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody! Isn't this great? I'm having so much fun, aren't you? I'm feeling so joyous. Why? That's weird. Happy all of a sudden? I didn't take any drugs, did I? No. Serotonin? Dopamine? We're all holding. What are we doing? What are you doing here? Listening to me ramble about all the silly little fun thoughts that I had today while I was working. It was a great day today. I like having a job that puts me out in the world because I can interact with human beings now. I used to not be able to do that. Thank you, DMT. Thank you, psychedelics. Thank you, mushrooms, for all of that wonderful healing that you did for me. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. I can't wait for my next trips. They're amazing. I can't wait. And they were so transformative on the level of personality and human as it is. I could come up with the words and say to you now in a camera. I never thought I would do this, and I can say that I may not even you may not even be human. You're calling yourself human, but We're like not very hairy monkeys, but I'm not right, and but I'm not wrong. We're like, I think we can kind of come up and say anything we want about what we are. We're kind of the creators of that. We shape and control the narrative and the viewpoint and the perspective and the perception and we have say. hmm We have say. We are matter and we matter. That's my favorite T-shirt that I'm gonna make probably for a little while. We are matter and we matter. TM, Josiah Matter. Jam, should I say? I feel free. Don't you? Don't you feel free? I feel like I am in the essence of freedom. I feel so good right now. I'm not joking. I've done nothing. I've done nothing. I've done nothing. I've done nothing. And seriously, I mean, allegedly. But what are you gonna do about it? You gonna come over here and stop me? You gonna swap my home and pin me down to this desk and be like, "Get him! We got him! We got him! He's got all the bad sick." I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. It's kind of crazy that being on this path that I'm on is creating the hurdles that it is. Because starting this podcast, now I've got people with interesting things to talk about. I was talking to my mom the other day over the phone, and I was talking about how I am in the precarious situation where crazy, unbelievable things have happened to me. Unexplainable, unimaginably profound things have happened to me. Wherever you want to say it's happened in your brain, it's a hallucination, out of body, astral projecting, whatever you want to call it. I've had some crazy things happen to where I can't just talk about them in public. If I just started talking about them in public, I would get called crazy so fast. And it's because it's crazy. It sounds crazy. If you're walking past me on the street and I'm talking to a friend and I'm talking about this, you would be like, this guy has main character syndrome and he should not be listened to. He's a narcissist, probably a narcissist. I don't know. That's probably too much. But regardless, it's not like I have main character syndrome. I don't think I'm like, shouldn't you feel like the main character in your own life? I mean, like, shouldn't there be some level of like, this is somewhat made for me? Like, isn't this experience made for you? I'm not saying I have main character syndrome, but I am aware of the fact that I am like the proponent. No, and I'm not trying to say the anything. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. That kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like steering this situation I'm in. I have control? Question mark. Not really. Like I'm just kind of like sailing through this thing, and if I wanted to be, I could be flailing. But instead, I'm sailing. I don't want to be flailing. I want to sail. I want to sail across the ether with my membranous wings into a new life. One not of strife. But here we are, strifing up a storm. On the day of Thanksgiving, strife. So much strife on Thanksgiving. Horrible things happened on Thanksgiving. This microphone smells like my breath. What'd you expect? Right? I can't wait to watch some Grinch, drink some eggnog, and not eat some turkey and eat some ham instead. That's right. I don't want any turkey. I'm good. All right. I'm getting out of here. I'm saving the rest of this bullshit for the next one. Every one of y'all have a fantastic Thanksgiving. And in case you forgot, don't forget to